The 1979 adaptation of Stephen King's Salem's Lot was directed by Tobe Hooper, a filmmaker known for his distinctive style and ability to create atmospheric tension. This two-part miniseries became a significant work in the horror genre, largely due to Hooper's vision and directorial approach. Tobe Hooper's vision. Atmospheric tension. Tobe Hooper was renowned for his ability to build suspense and tension, a skill he used effectively in Salem's Lot. He focused on creating a foreboding atmosphere, rather than relying solely on jump scares or overt horror. Hooper's vision was to evoke a sense of dread that permeates throughout the town of Jerusalem's Lot, gradually intensifying as the story unfolds. Character-driven horror. Hooper emphasized character development and interpersonal relationships, which help ground the supernatural elements in reality. By focusing on the town's residents and their interactions, Hooper made the horror more personal and relatable, enhancing its impact. Respect for source material. Hooper's adaptation remains relatively faithful to Stephen King's novel, capturing its themes of small-town decay and the pervasive presence of evil. Hooper respected the essence of the source material while adapting it to suit the television format. Directorial style. Visual storytelling. Hooper employed visual storytelling techniques to enhance the horror elements. He used lighting and shadows creatively, crafting a visually unsettling atmosphere. The use of fog and darkness contributed to the eerie setting, making the town itself feel like a character. Pacing and structure. The miniseries format allowed Hooper to pace the story more deliberately than a typical feature film. This structure enabled a gradual build-up of tension and allowed for more detailed character arcs and plot development. Iconic imagery. Hooper created several iconic and memorable visual moments in the miniseries. One of the most famous scenes involves a vampire boy floating outside a window, scratching at the glass, a chilling image that has become a hallmark of the adaptation. Hooper's use of such striking imagery helped cement the miniseries' status in horror history. Sound and music. The score, composed by Harry Suckman, complements Hooper's visual style by enhancing the tension and unease throughout the series. Hooper's use of sound, including the strategic silences, adds to the eerie atmosphere and heightens suspense. Impact and legacy. Tobe Hooper's direction of Salem's Lot played a crucial role in its success and enduring impact. His ability to blend atmospheric horror with character-driven storytelling set a high standard for television adaptations of horror novels. The miniseries is often praised for its faithful adaptation of King's work and its effective use of horror elements, making it a classic in the genre. Hooper's vision and style have influenced many subsequent adaptations of King's works and other horror films, showcasing his lasting impact on the genre. Let's delve deeper into Tobe Hooper's vision and style for the 1979 adaptation of Salem's Lot, focusing on his thematic approach, influences, and the technical aspects that contributed to the film's atmosphere and impact. Thematic approach, exploration of evil. Hooper was deeply interested in exploring the nature of evil and its impact on a seemingly ordinary community. In Salem's Lot, the arrival of the vampire Barlow represents the infiltration of a malevolent force into everyday life. Hooper used this theme to explore how evil can corrupt and consume not only individuals, but also entire communities. Isolation and decay. The theme of isolation is prevalent throughout the miniseries. Hooper emphasized the physical and emotional distance between characters, often portraying them as isolated figures within the frame. This sense of isolation mirrors the town's decay and moral decline as the vampire threat grows. Loss of innocence. Hooper highlighted the loss of innocence through the town's transformation. As the vampire infestation spreads, the facade of normalcy crumbles, revealing the underlying darkness. Influences. Gothic horror tradition. Hooper drew from the Gothic horror tradition, incorporating elements such as the haunted house, the Marston house, supernatural creatures, and a pervasive sense of dread. His use of Gothic motifs creates a timeless quality, blending classic horror elements with a modern setting. Universal monster films The visual style and narrative structure of Salem's Lot reflect an homage to classic Universal monster films. Hooper's vampires, particularly Barlow, share characteristics with traditional cinematic vampires, while also introducing a more monstrous and grotesque appearance, which distinguished the adaptation from other vampire portrayals of its time. Alfred Hitchcock's influence. Hooper's use of suspense and tension can be linked to Alfred Hitchcock's influence. He employed Hitchcockian techniques, such as building suspense through pacing and careful attention to detail, which allowed the horror to unfold gradually and organically. Technical aspects, set design and location. Hooper made strategic choices in set design and location to enhance the film's eerie atmosphere. The Marston House, perched ominously above the town, serves as a visual symbol of evil's looming presence. Its dilapidated Gothic architecture is central to the film's aesthetic and serves as a focal point for the story's horror. Camera work. Hooper's camera work contributed significantly to the atmosphere. He often used slow, creeping camera movements to build tension, allowing viewers to feel the ominous presence of unseen threats. Close-ups of characters' expressions effectively conveyed fear and paranoia, drawing the audience deeper into the story. Lighting and color palette. Hooper's use of lighting was instrumental in creating the film's mood. He employed low-key lighting and stark contrast to evoke a sense of unease and highlight the duality of the town's seemingly peaceful exterior and its dark undercurrents. The muted color palette reinforced the film's somber tone and Gothic style. Television horror milestone, Salem's Lot, was a pioneering work in the realm of television horror, setting a standard for future adaptations of horror literature. Hooper's ability to translate Stephen King's complex narrative into a compelling visual experience demonstrated the potential of television as a medium for horror storytelling. Influence on vampire lore. The miniseries contributed to the evolution of vampire lore in popular culture. Hooper's depiction of vampires as both terrifying monsters and tragic figures influenced subsequent portrayals in film and television, blending horror with a sense of melancholy and loss. Enduring popularity. The miniseries remains a beloved classic among horror enthusiasts, celebrated for its atmospheric tension and faithful adaptation of King's novel. Hooper's work continues to be analysed and appreciated for its artistic and narrative achievements. Tobe Hooper's direction of Salem's Lot in 1979 showcases his mastery of horror through a blend of atmospheric tension, character-driven storytelling, and technical prowess. His ability to adapt Stephen King's novel into a compelling and enduring miniseries highlights his distinctive vision and style, cementing Salem's Lot as a landmark work in the horror genre. Hooper's influence can be seen in the numerous horror films and television series that followed, marking his legacy as a pivotal figure in the evolution of horror cinema.